Well, I can't believe how quick the F1 season is already. F1 2019 reaches the third round of the calendar, as it is the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend in Shanghai. And it's actually a circuit many years ago actually was quite haunting for Lewis Hamilton. In 2007, when he was fighting for his first World Championship in his first year in F1 while driving for McLaren, he was trying to pit, then ended up in the gravel. And if you've never seen it, go on YouTube. It was probably quite a simple error, but when he's a young driver, I guess that might have been expected from him. Experience since then has certainly helped him to win 5 championships. And of course, let's not forget, he won in Bahrain in the second round of the season. He knows he was lucky. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari should have won it, but instead it was Lewis Hamilton, and sometimes you need luck to win these world championships, and Lewis Hamilton was going to take it all day long. But can he do it in China? That's the big question. The way this championship is going, we're seeing 4 drivers going for it, with maybe a little bit of a dark horse outside the pack of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. Let's not forget, of course, in Bahrain, Charles Leclerc was absolutely nailing it, 8 seconds ahead of the Silver Arrows until that engine problem occurred. Now, since then, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari have announced that they have solved the problem and that it shouldn't happen again in Shanghai. Yet again, mind games certainly help. But with China coming up, the big question is, who will win, Mercedes, Ferrari or Red Bull? In my eyes, it could be either of them. I mean, to be honest, we all thought Bahrain, Ferrari were going to win, and then Mercedes did. With China, let's not forget, last year, Daniel Ricciardo with that emphatic racing, from the fact that he started outside the podium to start off with, and then went on to win the race with one of the most incredible strategies I'd ever seen from Ricciardo or from any driver since I've been following F1. But who knows this time? Of course, Ferrari got pole position last year from Sebastian Vettel, but he didn't even appear on the podium after collision with Verstappen later on in that race. So really, I think this could be between Ferrari and Mercedes this weekend. As I said, Red Bull will be there fighting as well. They know they're capable of winning, and they'd want to get their first race win if Verstappen has got any chance of competing for this Drivers' Championship. And I really do want to keep an eye on Charles Leclerc, because if he can continue that kind of performance with his racing, and as Lewis Hamilton said to him on the podium just before they went out there to pick up the trophies, he said to him, you know, he has got a long future ahead of him and has got a lot to live for, and we can all see it, can't we? There was a lot of heartbreak for him when he couldn't win the race in Bahrain, but it really does depend on if he can do it again. If he can go a few seconds ahead of the Silver Arrows and his teammate Sebastian Vettel, then who knows what he can do. Vettel, on the other hand, he is under big pressure, it seems. After checking out many forums during the week, it looks as though Ferrari fans want him out now. I've always said this about Ferrari fans. They are the equivalent of Real Madrid fans. They want the best out of their drivers, and they want results now. Not later on in the season, they want it now. And the fact that Charles Leclerc, who should have finished ahead of Vettel in Australia, and finished ahead of Vettel in Bahrain, just shows that at the moment Leclerc could be capable of either finishing higher than Vettel in the Drivers' Championship, or maybe actually go on and win the Drivers' Championship. It may be something that no one expected before the start of the season, but he looks capable. And overall, it really does depend. Lewis Hamilton's the most successful driver at the Chinese Grand Prix. 5 wins to his name. And for Mercedes winning it on 5-6 times or something like that, from what I can remember. But either way, it looks as though it's going to be a very interesting race. But I just have this feeling Charles Leclerc will do it this time. So my race prediction is that Charles Leclerc will win the Chinese Grand Prix.